Realize that providence doesn't minimize planning or remove responsibility. It isn't a loophole for laziness. In fact, church, listen very carefully. You can trust and try at the same time. I love Proverbs 19:21. You know why? Because it's the quintessential verse about trusting and trying. Here's what it says. Many are the plans of a man's heart. It's the Lord's purpose that prevails. Now, what I like about that is this. It doesn't actually negate or minimize planning. A lot of us read that like, oh, it's God's purpose that matters, so don't plan. That's not what the verse says. The verse actually says nothing negative about planning. The verse just makes a statement. Go ahead and plan, but plan with this confidence. God's purpose will be done. See, that's why the doctrine of providence is not a license to sin or a reason to disengage. It's a comfort to embrace that God will do what He wills. So this means your planning and your responsibility is all part of the picture. Some of the ordained means by which God accomplishes that is actually planning and scheduling and working. If you don't think trusting and trying can fit together, talk to a farmer who works the fields, digs the holes, and plants the crops, and knows he can control that to the best of his or her ability, but he knows another something else. They can't make it rain. And so there's this idea of, I'm going to trust, but I'm going to try. All with the right motives that we depend upon the Lord. So I just would encourage you, don't see providence as a way to minimize planning or remove your responsibility. Don't use it as a loophole for laziness. James 4:15 says that it's okay to go to a city, to make plans to visit there and to make a profit. But you can't do that assuming God's will isn't part of it. That's why James says, what you should say is, Lord willing, we'll go to a city, make a profit, stay there a year or two. Here's what James does not say. James does not say, oh, if you're saying that you'll go to a city and you'll make a profit, stay a year or two, don't say you'll go to the city. He doesn't say that, does he? He says, go ahead and say it. Go ahead and plan it. Go ahead and be involved in entrepreneurial things and business and making money. That's fine. Just do it underneath the umbrella and authority of God's will. That's what's happening. And sometimes in the church we seem to have extremists. Those who are like, you know what? It doesn't matter what I do. God's got it, so I ain't going to do nothing. You know, it's terrible English, I know. But they just kind of had this hands-off, laissez-faire attitude. That's unbiblical. And then there are those that feel like they've got God on a string. They're controlling. And they're the key player, and that's unbiblical. Instead, we should realize that God ordains planning and work and diligence and uses it to accomplish His will.